Here are the tests on my Comfort Height 2006 Vitromex Marathon 2. Like I said in the previous video, I cannot find a name anywhere on this except right here. And it is set to the water line. It is using a flapper identical to the original. So let's give this a flush and see how it does on tests. But before that, I'd like to mention how I said there would be a crack in the bottom of the tank. Well, there wasn't, and instead there was a bunch of mineral buildup underneath it. I don't know how well you can see that, but it was just pouring out that bolt. There was a stream of water coming off that when I had it tightened down, and that's because of a mispunched hole in the bowl actually. And the quality of this toilet is pretty much summed up by this right here. It says Mexico right over the hole where the bolt is supposed to line up. So yeah, that's sort of ironic that they put Mexico right over the hole. So yeah, this toilet's not very good quality, but let's see how it does on tests. It has a really nice, strong, quick flush. It's definitely different than the standard height version, and that's why I like these and I don't really like those. So for the first test, let's see if it can take a washcloth. This should be a pretty easy pass. I know the round ones like to fail, but this one definitely should take it. It did perfectly, and it flowed real fast out the end of the pipe, which means this toilet has pretty good line carry. So I'm going to add some water to the bowl, and now let's see if it can take a grocery bag. I don't really know how this will do. The front flushers tend to be bad with bags, but it's got a chance. It's got some decent suction power, but for whatever reason I think it'll still clog. Jeez, it took that thing like nothing. Now, let's see if it can take a washcloth and a grocery bag together. As for my comment on the last test, I'm not so surprised that it could take a grocery bag. It's just how fast it sucked it down. But I think the small trapway opening is going to get it on this one, and it's going to clog. It's trying. Yeah, it's kind of stuck. I better use my other hand because I cut myself on this one. Anytime now. Might as well overflow it just for fun. But since I want to overflow it, it'll probably unclog itself here pretty soon. Honestly, this is probably the best thing about 1.6 gallon toilets, and anything below that is that you have to flush multiple times for it to overflow. And that's a good thing. So that is an obvious fail right there. I don't think that testing it again would do anything, so I'm going to let that fill back up, and I will be back shortly for a dish towel test. It's going to fail this pretty miserably. It didn't even suck it down at all. The water just stayed there like a washdown toilet. I'm gonna try holding it. It took a lot of help to get that. I mean, you saw the motion I did. I held it, and then as it was siphoning, I just kind of pushed it a little bit. So I would still not consider that a pass. Either way, this toilet seems to be a pretty decent performer. I've definitely seen better. I would say from the time, it's pretty average. There are a lot of toilets that are better or worse than this one. Maybe not better, because the 2000s really was a dark time for toilets. So anyway, performance is all right. It'll probably do all right on normal use. I don't know about a commercial setting, but anyway, let's get started with the flush tests. For the first flush test, let's see how it flushes with a dry bowl. I'm guessing it'll flush pretty strong, but the water really won't build up around the sides. It'll just go straight down. A little bit will come up maybe to the water line, and then it'll go straight down again. So it's not going to be interesting, but let's get it over with. Wow, that couldn't be more exactly what I said. That's impressive, honestly. I guessed well. So now let's see if it can take dirt. I gave this a mineral clean out in the rim. There really wasn't much in there, but I noticed that one of the jets on the left side is not punched out correctly, so that's not real good. And I know from the past that Vitromex toilets really don't have great bowl rinse, and I totally missed the left side here. I'm gonna splash some more up around there, but anyway, let's see how it does. Wow, so the bowl clearance is not very good. That's not very shocking since the flapper closes before the siphon. So, around the sides, looks alright actually. Looks pretty good aside from this stuff right here, but whatever you put in the toilet's not really gonna go on the right side of the bowl, so I don't know how necessary it is to have a perfect flush in that area. But overall, I'd say the bowl rinse is good. There's a tiny little bit right there. Yeah, so the bowl rinse is not bad at all. I don't know at what time this video will post or what orders there'll be, but I tested a first generation Vortens Vienna earlier, and it had the same issue where if you put a regular flapper in, it would take that dirt with no problem at all. So anyway, I'm going to give this a second flush and see how much it takes. It'll probably pass perfectly. Just like the Vortens, left a couple floaters. Not too bad. But yeah, I'd say this toilet is pretty decent. Wouldn't be something I would install because I would not install a 1.6 gallon. So anyway, that is all for these tests. If you enjoyed my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video.